Hello, and welcome to 25 Days of Review, where I'm going to get caught up with my reviews over the course of December. My backlog right now is 73 albums, which means I'm going to review 3 albums a day, plus whatever the album of the day is. So we're going to kick things off by talking about S16 by Woodkid. It was good. Woodkid definitely has his really unique sound and style that I just don't think a lot of other artists are very comparable to. And he definitely maintains that on here. You can tell this is a Woodkid album. It has that really intense percussion and the very lovely instrumentals and beauty of it. But I can't help but compare it to the Golden Age, and I think the thing that is really definitional in terms of differentiating the two albums is that in the Golden Age he seemed to have a much deeper respect for silence. The quiet moments on the Golden Age really acted as an instrument of themselves. They punctuated the work, whereas in S16 I wonder if he's worried about having quiet moments. I wonder if he's worried about not filling dead air. And I don't think he has to be. I think those quiet moments, those times of silence really emphasized and accentuated the music. So, at least compared to his other work, I wasn't as much of a fan of S16. So, all that considered, I still thought it was a good listen, fun album, nice album. And I'm going to give it a 6 just because it's not something I would put on day to day. And I guess know what he is capable of, and he chose to go a different direction, and that's okay. Next up, we have the Mantle by S16 was submitted by Jake. I'm totally forgetting how I do these. S16 submitted by Jake. That is a 6. Next up, we have the Mantle by Agalok. This one's submitted by Dom. And I liked this one. Dom described it as another example of freezing to death in the woods music, but I don't feel like it had the hopelessness and desperation that you would really expect from freezing to death in the woods music. Hi, Muffin. There was not so much a surviving vibe, but a thriving one. It felt like I was hunting for reindeer or elk in the woods. There was a positivity to it, a perseverance to it, not a resignation. And, that's not necessarily a bad thing. It was definitely still a very Scandinavian sounding album, still a very cold sounding album. And I liked the instrumentals. I liked the progression through the songs and how it was handled. Though it does lose some points for the use of growling, which can be done well. I'd almost always prefer a more comprehensible, a more understandable style of vocal delivery than growling. Speaking of growling, Muffin, no. No. As a sidebar, she wants to be in here because she really likes eating Biscuit's poop straight out of the litter box now. And she's not allowed to do that, so she's mad at me. Yeah, so the Mantle. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. Just, kind of wish it was more traditionally delivered. But kind of lived up to expectations. I give it a 7. Then, next up we have Maggot Brain by Funkadelic. This one's submitted by Hunter. And, it's a classic. Maggot Brain is pretty easily one of the greatest pieces of guitar music ever recorded. At least top 5. Absolutely stunning title track. So beautiful. So pristine and perfect throughout that it makes it hard kind of to listen to the rest of the album. The rest of the album is still good. It's still a good listen. It's fun. It's tonally quite different from Maggot Brain, but that's fine. I feel like Maggot Brain's just kind of its own standalone experience. And the rest of the songs were good. Very fine, very lovely. But they just I'm not saying it's easy or even possible. They don't fill in that want that you get from Maggot Brain, that desire that it leaves you with. And that makes the album less cohesive, I feel. It's still good. I still like it. I still love it, even. But yeah, it didn't feel super cohesive towards the back end. It's still fantastic, and I'm still going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Okay. Then to review today's album, or in this case, yesterday's album, forgive me. We have Strings and Stories of a Troubadour by Estas Ton. This one's from Dom. I liked this. I liked this a lot. Live performances are a bit weird for me. I've discussed this before, where a lot of the time I feel like I would prefer to hear the in-studio version just to kind of get a complete idea of the artist's intent. But there was something nice about having this be performed live. It was gentle at times, exciting at other times, and it definitely had a lot of flow through it between different tones and different feelings and different atmospheres. And the whole time, technically, it was very well done. I thought it was a great album. That being said, I think it still falls into a category of things I wouldn't listen to super often. But I think it still hits that, fills that gap of something I'm really happy that I did get the opportunity to listen to. Strings and Stories of a Troubadour, I thought was a good time, good listen, well done, well executed, even a good live setting, I'll give it that. And so with all that, I think I'm comfortable giving Strings and Stories of a Troubadour a 7. With that, I'll record another one of these later today, and you can expect to get one every day for the next 25 days. All right.